LRBAquatics.com. Actually gonna sit and look at these fish a little bit before I flip you guys back over. These are Synodontis lucipinus catfish. Very cool fish. Very cool cats, as you may say. Love them. Love them fish. But hello world, or hello everybody. How's it going? Hope you guys are all doing well. If not, I hope it gets better for you. So today, I wanted to talk and discuss with you guys a little bit about one of the biggest mystery killers that can end up causing big problems for fish and keeping fish, and that is food. Food can be one of the biggest killers for fish. Now, it's not what's in the food, but it's what happens to the food later. And I actually had this be a little bit of an issue for me here recently from the aquatic experience when I got back. And it's a big reason why a lot of people don't trust other people feeding their fish. Now, my girlfriend did a great job feeding them, so I can't harp on her too hard about that because it's not easy feeding all these aquariums and these different sizes aquariums and colonies. But here in my fry rack system especially, it's a little harder to feed because of the little babies and everything. And I did tell her, and what I'm talking about is when food sits over for more than a day, it starts getting fungus on it. And as soon as a fish eats that fungus food, it's almost lights out for that fish unless they actually get treated for it. And sometimes even treating for it doesn't always help. I like to use API Fungus Cure for that type of situation. For instance, he's got a little fungus on his lips, and this isn't from fungus food that he ate. It's actually fungus food that was left into this system from my fry. Now, when she was feeding, I actually keep a turkey baster right here for overfeeding. That way I can get whatever chunks on the bottom. Doesn't look like I have any sitting there right now, but if that stuff gets fungused up and the fish eat it, it's a really bad problem, and it'll kill them. So she was looking out for the stuff on the bottom, but she wasn't looking out for the stuff on the top. Now, unfortunately, I did lose some baby bettas because there was just fungus on top causing issues, but I still do have some. I still have fry. Let's see if we can see baby betta. There's one right there, but it ain't moving. Another one right there, barely moving. They still got a little ways to grow. Fish are all doing fine in there. But anytime, yes, like this. So this is from yesterday. See where the food's flattened out? If that sits in there by tomorrow, it'll definitely be fungus and it'll definitely cause issues. And if they eat any of it, they will die. They will die. So you want to get that stuff out of the water. And that's a big reason why I like the Tetracolor Tropical Granules, because it's bright orange and I can actually see it. And it's just something to think about, is that uneaten food, because often we wonder why our fish isn't living or why it's sick all of a sudden when you haven't added anything to the tank. And I actually recently lost some pygmy chain loaches up in my 125 QT for the same reason. That was probably a couple months ago. But it's just something to think about, especially if you're wondering. But let's see, this is what I use actually. API Fungus Cure. So if you do ever run into the problem and you see your fish mysteriously dying, check to see if there's extra food in the tank that's been rotten. Maybe they ate it, and maybe it's starting to hurt them. But hopefully this will save some fish, because it's something that we don't often think about. Like, we usually look for the common symptoms, like, okay, I just brought a new fish in, maybe that's the problem, or a plant in, that's the problem, or there's some kind of something on your fish. But I am starting to feel a little better. Some of you guys may know I haven't been feeling well from the AE. And a little update, Wesley's feeling a lot better too. He's running around doing his thing. Feed the bettas tetracolor granules. I do. I feed everything tetracolor granules. What's in Fungus Cure? That would be this stuff. Active. See if I can get that to focus. It's not focusing well. It says Victoria Green B and 30 milligrams of acroflavin. Those are the active ingredients. Pretty easy stuff to dose. I actually use this to cure a lot of things. It's actually one of my go-tos for most infections, especially when you're buying like fish from the store, say like Petco or something like that. Often they're coming in with bacterial and fungal infections. This stuff works great for those types of fish. Because that's one of the most common diseases to come around with wholesale fish is fungal and bacterial infections. Any issues with shrimp in the tank and Fungus Cure? So I haven't quite used it on any shrimp yet. I need to still test that. I don't know if it's shrimp safe or not. Doesn't really say anything otherwise. I haven't really used it for shrimp, but maybe one day I'll be forced to test it in that scenario, or maybe I should just sacrifice a couple shrimp. I really hate to do that, but if it saves a lot of other shrimp and other fish's lives, then maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's, yeah, like I said, something that's not always thought about. And I will stay on a little longer because you guys have a few questions here. Try to scroll through them. And yeah, I hope everybody's doing good. Do your fry tanks have the baffles in the back for self-cleaning? So they don't, Timmy. I keep everything all natural. If you look at the actual system, it's actually pretty natural. So I let it get all moldy. I let it get all dirty. I'm not trying to keep it all clean. There's Sparky. He's meowing. Meow, buddy. What's up? You want outside? Yeah? Well, we got to go this way real quick, okay? Show you guys kind of how I keep the system, too. I mean, as you see, they're all browned up. So they're malmy. They're dirty. They're not clean at all. And I don't really want them clean. Oh no, that's a snail. So snails are good to help for that excess food. That's why I'm also pro snail. By having them in each fry tank, they could add a lot of waste into the thing. But I don't have any filter in my fry rack. It's actually just natural planted tank, shrimp tank, so all the small microflora, flora and fauna can be pumped up and through and into all the fry tanks. So it's all kind of feeding itself naturally if I'm not there to help feed it. And yeah, I don't worry about keeping it too clean. Fish like dirty tanks. Fish, they really do. I mean, you can see the fry rack's just full of babies. I got so many fish now, it's insane. But I want to build some more of these. They're pretty sweet. And yeah. And the fungus can cause issues with shrimp too. So say if that uneaten food doesn't get eaten and then the shrimp eats it, can also cause problems with them. And I can't tell if my population's lower than what it was or still around the same. Now see, that's actually just poo right there. Which it's good to get the poo out too, but the mulm and stuff will actually help eat that poo and old food as well. So mulm's not bad either. Mulm will help eat rotten food. I've actually seen it develop over time. So mulm actually gets a really bad rap, but that beneficial bacteria in there definitely goes a long way. See, there's some baby bettas right there. Those are the purple endo pandas. Oh, that's not quite working right. There we go. I do gotta readjust this every now and then. but it's not too shabby. I'm not seeing any in there. I know they're in there somewhere. But what will happen often too is that fungus, especially when it gets into the baby, the fungus will literally take over like the whole body in the baby. There was like a clump, one of them had just a clump of fungus and probably like 6 babies. It was not cool. I wasn't happy about that when I came home, but you know, things happen. She learned her lesson. And yeah. Hopefully this will save some lives here. Caleb Pittman, speaking of, I can't wait to listen to your simple aquarium keeping talk next month at Maasai. Yes, that'll be great. I'm actually going through Gary's huge email that we're hammering out some things. That's also the weekend of the OCA, so I've got a couple choices that week. Is I can go do a bunch of fish room tours on Friday while I'm in St. Louis, or I could really grind it hard and try to go from St. Louis that night and then up to the OCA extravaganza and vend at that for the weekend. But that'll be really tough to do. Still trying to wrap my head around that right now. That's actually what I was in the process of doing. But I don't know. I may just try to take it easy and just do a bunch of fish room tours if possible while I'm up there giving the talk. What is your opinion on Guppy Train? Where do you get your guppies? I've never actually bought from Guppy Train, so I couldn't tell you. I get my guppies from clubs, events, and Twin City Guppies. They have some great guppies. So it's just really whoever's got cool strains. IFGA conventions. There's many clubs and groups that do that as well. Or are sponsored and linked up with them. Question, how do you medicate cories? I had one have fungus growing on its fin, some fin rot. He passed this morning. I'm noticing it on another. Fungus Cure, bro. Try this. API Fungus Cure. I've treated so many things. Fin rot to all kinds of issues. I've tried so many medicines, and this one has worked the best for me. And it's saved so many fish's lives. And I'm not sponsored whatsoever by them. It's just, that stuff works. My beard is on point tonight. It's actually really frizzy. But glad to see you in here. Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. He's actually the dude who made the Mad Scientist poster. He's actually got a couple designs ready to go too that he's been working on, and I'm super excited about. But alright. Before I get too far into this rabbit hole with y'all and all your questions, I'm going to have to cut this short because we're already 13 minutes in and I got to think about the replay of it all. But I will definitely be on here tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do a video of. Often I don't know what I'm going to do a video of, but there's always so much going on that there's something to always choose from. So I appreciate you guys all coming out and hanging out, and yeah. Robert Smith, I got to get to this question real quick because he answered me in the comments and I didn't have time to get to it. He says, ever have fish with locked jaw? My Ember Tetra's bottom jaw is stuck open. So no, I've never actually come across that. So I really don't know what to tell you, brother. For it to get stuck open like that, that's really wild. That is really wild. And if it's something where all of them are doing it, it could possibly be a genetic issue from them being bred out too much. Hey Lucas, do you sell those fry rack tanks online? Dean, unfortunately I don't. Just because they're a real pain in the butt to ship, and I haven't had time to deal with shipping. But my helper is going to start next week. I believe, is that next week? Or the 31st. Here really soon. And maybe I will get time to figure that out. But I've also got to hoard some of them because I want to build some more as well. And I don't know. I may be going up to Aquarium Co-ops here in January sometime. So I don't know how many I can fit on a plane. But Dean, I know they would be helpful for you. Alright, I can totally get lost talking to you guys. And once again, like, share, subscribe. And you guys all have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So peace, everybody.